Hey, guess what? Ray Bradbury's short story takes place today, August 4th, 2026. Hi, my name is Gali, and I couldn't let the opportunity pass without me talking about this amazing story because it's too terrifyingly perfect not to. So, the story was written in 1950, and the plot itself is very simple, I think. As I mentioned before, the story takes place August 4th, 2026, and we're basically just following a house that's alive. It seems to be alive. It's extremely modern. It has speakers and it provides like general announcements. It will literally ask you questions. I imagine something like Siri or like any type of virtual assistant. The kitchen has also been automated, and there's like this really cool description about how the stove will eject food, like the toaster will eject the toast bread and it will be served in a platter. And I couldn't help but imagine this scene in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang where Dick Van Dyke's character is preparing breakfast for the kids. It's all very cartoonish, and I enjoy that. It's just very whimsical, very magical, very like perfect almost. In the house we have also mice, these tiny robotic mice that help clean the house. They vacuum the rooms. Again, very cartoonish, very fun to imagine. We have more normal stuff like the sprinklers that turn on and off at certain times of the day, and basically everything follows a specific organized schedule. It's fun. I imagine it would be fun to live there. I think this story is a perfect example of anthropomorphism, because as I was reading it, I couldn't stop thinking of the house as a character. I thought of it as a person. I know that sounds kind of ridiculous, but hear me out. I know houses don't get lonely. I know machines don't feel sadness, but I do. And, I'm a human, and I think we're supposed to feel all of those feelings. Maybe that's our nature. Invest emotions into things. And I was sad. That's the truth of the matter. I couldn't shake the feeling that the house itself was lonely, that it felt lonely, because even though it was perfect and it was beautiful, it also was empty. And that's the tragedy in this story. Nobody lives there. We're never told explicitly what happened, but we're given, a couple of clues, so we kind of get to understand that the family who lived in this house probably died of a nuclear explosion. Slowly but surely, we are introduced to the idea of war, of destruction. Some of those scenes were pretty intense. There's like this particular scene where we can see like silhouettes of people who were burned to the side of the house. And the idea that such a perfect family can have that type of, awful ending, it's chilling to think about that. But that's what's happening today. Like, that still happens. And that's what makes the story so terrifying, that the world looks exactly the same as when this story was written over 70 years ago. Somewhere in the world, someone is going through chaos and destruction and war and death. And listen, I'm sure that when Ray Bradbury wrote this story back in the 50s, our current date was so far away. Like, we must have felt incredibly distant. Maybe we don't have robot mice, and we don't have ejecting bread that falls into our platter, and we don't have a lot of the cartoonish stuff we see there. But we already have machines that clean and cook and speak to us, and we have automated homes, we have cars that self-drive, we have algorithms that will organize our personal lives. They will run your business. We have more things that Ray Bradbury could possibly imagine. It's August 2026, and today machines could take care of almost every single human need. So Bradbury was right about that. But to me, the scary part is that humanity hasn't changed. There's continuity into the story. it goes on. The world goes on. Maybe it's destroyed, but it goes on. Just as we've continued, even with all of the terrible stuff that happens. This part of still being here, being alive, continuing, to me is reflected in the last paragraph of the story. The story ends the next day with a voice that's coming from inside the house. It says, today is August 5th, 2026. Today is August 5th, 2026. Today is August 5th. Stop it. Continuamos. That's it. We're done.